Okay guys, we're here in the studio, we're here in Stockholm, Sweden with Carl and Chris. What is going on?
All right, today we will talk about the Bitcoin price in that exact moment, also about the descending triangle everyone is looking at right now, and we will talk with Carl and Ivan in which direction it is most probably going to break out and about exact price targets. We will also talk about all of our favorite topic, the economic prices and how it will impact the Bitcoin price and also a long-term price prediction. So if you think that sounds interesting, guys, make sure you smash up the like button, you leave your thoughts in the comment section, and let's go straight into it. First of all, maybe price rise in the immediate short term. What is going on with the descending triangle? Everyone is looking up. Maybe we can pull up the charts. And Carl, can you leave some thoughts about that? What you think the price is, where the price is going to? Will it break to the downside or will it break to the upside? And what are your targets?
All right. So, well, we're looking at the descending triangle. And a descending triangle generally is a bearish pattern, as you may know per classic technical analysis. However, we also have to take into consideration the trend before we went into the triangle, because not many people maybe know this, but a descending triangle, a bearish pattern, can serve as a bullish continuation pattern if you have a very, very strong bullish trend leading into the pattern. So I know a lot of people are saying that we had to break to the downside because it's a bearish pattern, but that's not necessarily the case. And those are my initial thoughts about the descending triangle.
Yeah, so this time we maybe not see this 70-30 probability ratio like we see it in bear markets to break to the downside.
Exactly.
I think in this case, I mean, before we had this huge descending triangle which broke to the downside in November 2018. And this was, like for all moon boys, it was still a surprise, but it was kind of foreseeable. So right now we are finding ourselves in another thing, and we talked about that yesterday in our video. Hopefully you watched that, and we talked about the 50 period moving average on the 3-day, which is actually right now coming into the descending triangle and acting as an additional support next to the horizontal support we already have in place. So not saying that we will for 90% likelihood break to the upside, but the odds have significantly increased at least. So right now, just for the short term, before we go into the economic stuff, Ivan, I want to know from you, what is your exact price targets if we break to the upside, and what is your price target you are looking out for if we are breaking to the downside, which is most probably, or like hopefully not going to happen.
So I would probably say if we break to the upside, I would target the 14K range at least. And if I would love to do a very, very detailed analysis here, and you would have to just go over to my channel to watch my very detailed analysis. But my bottom target, if we were to break to the downside, would be approximately 7.5K based on the EMAs, the EMA ribbon. And if you follow me, you know what I'm talking about here. But basically, my bottom range will be 7.5K. I don't believe that Bitcoin, it's very, very unlikely that Bitcoin will go below 7.5K ever again.
All right.
But also, I think what many people are wondering when it comes to TA, which you guys do a lot, what is the time range? Because we've been in this sideways boring movement, 9K, 10K, 11K. When approximately will we see some more major volatility? Because people want that. I mean, let's be honest, people are bored of this
Let's
already.
just take a look at the triangle. Where's the end of the triangle?
Yeah, so usually they break like 70%, 75% inside the triangle. So we are close.
Yeah, there you go. Somewhere
in a few weeks.
Yeah, but between
not even in a few weeks, like earlier maybe.
Yeah, but if you like the end of the triangle, I think it's somewhere in November, right?
Right.
Yeah. So before November starts, we should have had a big break, a massive break.
Yeah, but I mean it starts, the probability is high to break out within 70% in the triangle. Yeah. So we can also break out somewhere in September or like
for sure
early October.
Yeah, but it's coming soon.
So now, I know you like to talk about that a lot, economic stuff, because everyone knows the financial system is flawed, the monetary system is flawed, and it looks like if recession is kind of imminent, and everyone is asking themselves, how is the recession going to impact the price? And I mean, Ivan, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think unfortunately most people are unprepared because they're not being educated about hard money. They're not being educated about crypto. So they're going to be stuck with fiat. And what we're seeing today is that, interest rates are very low. They're negative in Europe. They probably will be negative in the US in the very short term. And this leaves the small guy with no to little gain because his fiat is devaluing, asset prices are going up. So he's been completely left out. Now, if something happens to the financial system, which is just a question of time, once again, where will the little guy be? Because if we truly ensure a phase of, for example, more inflation or some other economic catastrophe, that might be the case, people losing their jobs, people losing their employment, where will the little guy be? Unfortunately, I think it is a problem that many people will face, that they will not have anything of value in their accounts. They will just have a useless fiat. And so what's important to talk about is the fact that, I mean, either you have assets that produce cash flow, such as real estate, such as stocks with dividend, but of course you don't want to buy on the top, which we are right now. We've been going up for 10 years. Or you do have crypto and other hard assets. And crypto is, of course, the most accessible one, as long as you are educated about how to get it. And so right now, with negative interest rates, with yields being inverse, when you look at the short term and long term, all of these are signals of a coming recession. And basically, we see two scenarios that at least I'm looking at. One scenario is that because Bitcoin has never been in a recession before when you look at traditional markets. It just started in 2009. So we've never really experienced a major economic collapse in the traditional markets. And I think this is going to be a very important test for Bitcoin. I mean, is it going to serve as a safe haven, which we all hope? Is it going to be just completely uncorrelated? So, I mean, it could either follow or not follow, because when you don't see any correlation, it's basically random. And this correlation between the stock market and the crypto markets, or is it going to be negatively correlated? So when the stock market goes down, then you see crypto go up. I mean, we still don't know that.
This is exactly what we are hoping for.
We were hoping for that, but the data is still not there. We still need to.
Haven't we already seen some evidence that Bitcoin is negatively correlated to the stock market?
It's very little data. It's
way too little. We are in uncharted territory still, kind of.
Right. I mean, you can cherry pick, and I'm sure you can find all kinds of either correlation or not correlation. Yeah. But until we have seen any significant major event, it's still very difficult to say yet. Because a lot of money that is flowing into crypto also comes from this easy fiat. I mean, let's be honest with that. Fiat is inflating. It's also inflating not only asset prices in the traditional markets, but also in crypto markets.
That's a good point. People have enormous profits so they can go on very high risk, right. And Bitcoin is considered high risk. So yeah.
Right. So all in all, I mean, the most important thing to keep in mind is that we're in uncharted territories. You definitely should hedge in all different directions, including crypto, which is a very important direction to hedge in. And I think it's going to be a very important test, because either it is the case that hodlers, who's the usual hodler? I mean, probably a guy who has a job, probably a guy who goes to work. I mean, we're not talking about these Bitcoin millionaires, just average hodlers watching the channel, for example. I mean, will they be able to hodl through or not the hard times? Because at the end of the day, when people cannot buy food, they cannot buy gas, who knows if they will hodl? I mean, we sure hope they will. Or will it be so that the big money comes into crypto when the economic collapse happens, and then crypto prices are still being supported and even go up? So I mean, there are several different ways it can go, but times are getting more and more exciting for each and every day as the global financial system also moves towards something we've never seen before. I mean, it's all uncharted. Bitcoin uncharted, crypto uncharted, financial system is also uncharted, because we've never seen negative interest rates at such a broad level and globally as well.
Exactly, I can only agree. It is we can only put some assumptions out there. But what I think is, since Bitcoin is created as some kind of a solution to that flawed financial system, since it is a solution for that, and we can already see in some pilot projects like Venezuela or Argentina, as I mentioned over on my channel also, we can already see that people are, when it comes to a currency crisis, when we can see inflation coming into a country, people are hedging against against the fiat currency with Bitcoin. What we can probably see is, when a recession comes, maybe a short-term shock, Bitcoin going down because people are going crazy, going even into US dollar and major currencies like Euro. But in the midterm already, I think we can see Bitcoin soar out of that. That's my own personal opinion and our opinion at MMCrypto. What's your opinion, as a finalizing thought here?
I think, to me, it's very, very obvious that Bitcoin will serve as not only a safe haven, but it will be kind of the perfect place to hide, because you don't have that third-party risk. Of course, you have the volatility risk, but just look at gold. It has always served as a safe haven because of the fact that there is no third-party risk. And Bitcoin is the perfect solution right now when we have a digital world where everything is digital and people will look for a digital safe haven, because people just, I don't think people are comfortable going out and buying gold right now because it's in the past. I mean, people will still do it, but right now it's just going to be so much easier to buy Bitcoin because it is really, really easy to just buy Bitcoin and also to store Bitcoin. Everything about Bitcoin, if it's easy today, it will be even easier tomorrow and even easier in 1 year, 2 years. So adoption will come as soon as it is easier to buy and hold and use Bitcoin, and also when people get incentivized to use Bitcoin, for example, in a financial crisis. So those two things are going to massively push up the Bitcoin price, in my opinion.
And also, I think just knowledge and education, because people still today, you talk to the just average guy who has some kind of portfolio in the stock market, he doesn't yet consider crypto, like if you look at the average guy, as being a valid asset class in his portfolio. He knows that gold is a good asset class because it's not correlated with the traditional, it's like a safe haven. So we need that education, and we also need that track record that, hey, look, Bitcoin is actually uncorrelated from like a numbers perspective. You can crunch the numbers, you can see it's perfectly fit in your portfolio, and everyone needs to have it in their portfolio.
And maybe a little bit more of legitimization, and that's exactly what we're getting right now. And I mean, we can hate or not, we can like or not like Facebook and Libra, but that is legitimization in some form because they are going into crypto, and that is the story that the mainstream are hearing. And the more big firms that are going into crypto and going into Bitcoin, the better for Bitcoin, because that is legitimization, because people trust these corporations, even though maybe that's not the best.
Yes, exactly. But I want to end up this episode with something you said. Education and human capital, as we economists say, is the most important thing, because actually in a thesis I wrote back in the days when I was studying, I was proving that world economies right now, you have physical capital, you have productivity, and you have human capital. They can only grow with human capital. Right now, the productivity and physical capital, everything is flattening, and human capital is the only thing which can extend the growth of the economy in the very long run. So everything you guys can do is be in Bitcoin, be grateful for being in Bitcoin, and also develop your own skills, learn something, develop yourself through education, through great channels like Ivan on Tech or The Moon or MMCrypto, guys. Be grateful every day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see each other at the next one of MMCrypto. As always, guys, links in the description of these guys. And as always, guys,
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys. You have to press on end. I'm not editing.
Let's see.
Like we are never editing on MMCrypto.